So I got in a fight with a lawnmower.
Have you heard of Pokemon?
This week on WASD, I'm drinking some Knob Creek Kentucky bourbon. What's with that face you're doing there? Is that because of that drink? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a secret.
A secret? That doesn't sound like a drink at all.
It's a secret. I can say though that it is a strong cider.
Yeah?
With ginger in it, so it kind of tastes like a boozy ginger ale.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually it's pretty good. When I drink it, I can't think cider. I have to drink ginger ale, and then I like it more. You know,
nice beer commercial.
If I think cider, then it
hey, you stay out of this. Neither of us are drinking beer.
Beer commercials.
I'm drinking whiskey, man.
That's a beer commercial.
Beer commercials. That's all this is an entire beer commercial. All right. Last week we talked about canceled games. We asked you guys, we said if there was any games you were looking forward to that got canceled and just disappeared, we asked you to comment about it. You guys left a lot of comments about it. Pistol, start us off. What was a game that you were looking forward to?
First one that comes to mind is Demonic.
Wait, from Grandma's Boy? That was an actual game?
Yep, it was gonna be real. It was a real thing.
I thought that was just like for the movie. I thought they made that specifically just for the movie as like a fake game.
I'm not sure entirely how that worked out with the rights and everything, but that game was in development for a while. I was looking forward to it. I was really excited. And then it got canceled. And then a couple years go by. Grandma's Boy comes out. And I'm watching Grandma's Boy and I'm like, that's Demonic. Same exact game, same name, same... You know, when he's drawn on the sketch pad, the concept art, it was the same. So that was kind of like a mini revival.
You got to see it one last time.
Yeah, you got to see it one last time, so it wasn't entirely in vain. So I was pretty okay with that. I kind of liked that, actually.
Now that I know it was a real game, I'm kind of sad that it didn't come out because it looked really cool. When that grandma was kicking that guy's ass, I was like, hell yeah, grandma. All right, next on the list is StarCraft Ghost. A lot of you guys were looking forward to StarCraft Ghost. I was looking forward to StarCraft Ghost. And it was first announced in 2002, and then it got indefinitely postponed in 2006.
AKA canceled.
Yeah, well, I mean, not officially canceled. It's technically vaporware. I don't know if any of you guys know what vaporware is. Vaporware is basically any kind of hardware or software that was announced but never released to the public and never, like, officially canceled to the public. Like, I'm pretty sure this game was canceled, and it's probably never ever going to come out, but it's still technically vaporware.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's still like a shred of hope for all of you people out there for that game, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. This game was a third-person shooter, and it was basically focused a lot on the stealth aspects of Nova. She was the ghost, the main character, and you could have like the vehicles from StarCraft, and there was a multiplayer event. At first, it got postponed because they wanted to add a multiplayer. That was like the original postponement, and then after that, it just kind of fell apart and disappeared. But the good thing is that Nova is now in StarCraft 2, and she's now in Heroes of the Storm. So you still get the character story a little bit, and you still get to see the character in those games.
I don't play StarCraft.
You don't play StarCraft. What else were you looking forward to?
This next one on my list is actually could also be considered vaporware.
Really?
And I also saw this one in the comments as well. And it is The Last Guardian. You could consider it like a sequel to Shadow of the Colossus. Same developers, and if you think about it, the Colossi in Shadow of the Colossus were guardians of like their areas.
So it could have been a sequel.
So the name The Last Guardian, you know, like there's not really that much information on the story, but I think it was going to be like a sequel. It had numerous delays. It's like they just kept happening. I did some research on it recently, and according to Wikipedia, and I quote, as of March 2014, state of the game remains in development. So I guess they're still working on it. What, like once a month? They're just like spend like an hour on it.
I doubt that happening.
Well, it's been under development for so long. It was originally going to be released in 2011 for PS3.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. If it comes out for PS3 and like PS4 and stuff like that, if that happens.
Yeah.
And if I can get it on PS3, I will, and then maybe my PS3 will actually be useful for once, besides Heavy Rain.
But a lot of the comments were saying that they were looking forward to Mega Man Legends 3. Now, I don't know too much about Mega Man Legends, so I can't really talk too much about that. But another person said that they were looking forward to Mega Man Maverick Hunters. And I looked up that game a little bit because I've never heard of it. It looked almost like a Metroid Prime type game. It was like a first person. It had the cannon just like in Metroid Prime. It looked like it could have been a Metroid Prime game.
That sounds cool. I probably would have played that because I liked the Metroid Prime games.
I love the Metroid Prime games. So when I saw that trailer, I was like, oh, I wish Maverick Hunters had come out.
I think that would have been good for Mega Man because all the Mega Man games, I mean, they all look the same to me.
Exactly the same, yeah.
Yeah, they all look the same. I mean, who cares about the story, you know?
That's why Samus, like, that's why Metroid did that. They did the reboot, but that wasn't really a reboot, but they made Metroid Prime to kind of like switch things up a bit.
Yeah, and keep it more modern, you know, but still Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mega Man just kind of stayed the same, you know, just like flatlining. So what else did you see in the comments that was really prevalent?
Yeah. The biggest thing in the comments was Star Wars 1313. And you know what? I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I was really looking for that game when it first was announced in E3 2012. I was like, hell yes, this game looks awesome. And that game was basically going to be young adult Boba Fett in between the prequels and the original movies. And I don't know if you've ever played or ever heard of Star Wars Bounty Hunters. That was a game where there was no force and no force powers involved. You had like guns. It was a third-person shooter. That's basically what it was going to be again. Is like that bounty hunter type game, and it looked really cool. And the graphics, like from what I saw in the gameplay and the stuff that was shown at E3, it looked like it could be current gen. Like hopefully, like with EA, they own the trademarks of LucasArts now.
There's bad news written all over it.
Yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up because EA has their hands on it.
They like to buy things and just throw it on the ground, just like your heart.
Enough about my sadness. What about your next game on the list?
The last one on my list, which was canceled very recently, is World of Darkness.
I think I've ever heard of that game.
It was going to be an MMO developed by CCP Games. Just same guys behind EVE Online and Dust 514. You're all done. Need refill. And yeah, so same guys behind that, which immediately had my interest. I'm all about sandbox now.
Yeah.
EVE is like the most popular sandbox MMO today. You know, it's completely player driven. You hear about the epic events that go on in that game. And so I was really interested in what else they could come up with. So what it was going to be is that it was going to be based on, you know, Vampire the Masquerade. Are you familiar with that?
Never heard of those games.
No.
No.
Well, Vampire the Masquerade is actually quite popular. It's a really good RPG.
Yeah, I saw the comments a lot of the people were saying about this game.
You should get that on the Steam sale.
Steam sale?
And stream it.
You think it's going to be on the summer sale?
It usually is. Each Steam
Maybe.
sale that goes by, I've seen it on sale.
I might. I've got a lot of games to play. I don't know if I could squeeze that one in there.
If it's for cheap, it's worth it. Trust me. So it's going to be based on Vampire the Masquerade. Everyone's vampires, but you start off as a human.
Okay.
And then you get transformed into a vampire somehow. Okay, that happens in the game, right? And it was going to be sandbox, social and political. And vampires pretty much like rule the world, and it was going to be nighttime all the time, and it was going to have like this dark atmosphere. They were, I guess, going for like an adult type MMO, like an MMO that a kid probably shouldn't play, you know?
Yeah.
Their quote for what they were going for is, adult game which aims to invoke emotion in you.
Invoke emotion?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm not entirely sure. I think it might have something to do with like their social aspect and adult game, you know, and vampires, maybe it was going to be a little, you know, a little racy.
I don't know how I feel about that.
They probably have a lot of blood, you know, vampires.
Like that's what you're talking about, okay, blood coming.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That makes me feel more comfortable now.
Yeah, because they're totally American. Sex is bad, blood is good, you know? America! It kept getting delayed over and over, right? They announced that it was under development again in like some conference, I think it was in 2013, not that long ago. I remember when it happened. They were like, yeah, we're working on it again, and everyone got all excited. And then it was like, oh, April 14th, canceled. Hearts were broken. I could feel it. I could feel it like around the world. It was just, dreams were crushed.
That was super recent. You must still feel that pain.
It's residual. It's definitely residual.
Effect.
It's hanging there. You know, it's just.
You know what game was like announced recently, but then MIA was Final Fantasy 15. That game was originally announced back in 2006 as Final Fantasy Versus 13, and then they re-announced it last year at E3 as Final Fantasy 15. But this year, completely MIA. Like, where is this game? I've been waiting for this game. I love Final Fantasy. I've been waiting for this game. This game looks so cool. I've been waiting for it for 2006. Where is it?
It's a long time to be waiting.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right. You should probably just let go.
I can't. It was so recent. It's the residual effects are there for me too.
Yeah.
Anyways, the next game on the list was Battlefront 3. A lot of you guys are talking about Battlefront 3. I loved Battlefront 2. That game was so fun. And you know what? That game was canceled, but it's now in the hands of DICE. which makes me worried a little bit because they make Battlefield, but I'm not going to get my hopes up.
And they made the most recent Medal of Honor. Don't forget how hard that flopped.
I'm not going to like go anywhere until I see gameplay. They showed a teaser last year, just kind of like at Hoth, like the AT-AT and stuff. It was like no gameplay, just very minimal. And then this year they showed a video talking about the developers were going to visit like locations and stuff. Again, no gameplay, so I'm not gonna get my hopes up. And the thing that I'm most worried about is the fact that it's made by DICE, because DICE makes Battlefield. I hate Battlefield because of the leveling system. I think it's a cool game, but the leveling system pisses me off. I hate games where you go into a game and somebody has played that game so much where they're like level 60, they've got the best guns in the game, and you get into that game level 1, you're like, I've got my pea shooter, I'm ready, and you just get fucking one shot. Like that. I hate games like that, and I love games where you go in and you're all equal and it's based off skill. And, like, you can get like level up and get stuff, but it's no effect over like the beginning of the match.
Yeah, like everyone's on equal ground, even if
exactly. That's how games should be.
One person's playing for 2 years, one person's playing for 1 month, and they're equal.
I really, because I don't have enough time to play.
Keep it skill
like
based.
One game, like I don't like playing one game like anymore, like all the time, and I don't have enough time to do that. So like when I play a game, I don't want to get in there and be like level 3 versus like level 60s and have like one gun to this guy's like arsenal.
Maybe that's their poor attempt at replay value.
Like, it just makes me mad. Like, that shouldn't be a thing.
I mean, that's why I love Counter-Strike so much, you know? Everyone's on equal ground. I've been playing Counter-Strike since 1998. I'll go into, like, CSGO, right? I'll enter a match. Someone who's never played Counter-Strike before enters the same match. Guns-wise, we are on equal ground.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll be much more skilled than him, okay?
Yeah, because you played it more.
But that's what should matter, is skill. Not like, hey, I got a rocket launcher and you have a knife, you know, like, even though he'll run faster, but, you know.
So yeah, I'm not really going to get my hopes up for Battlefront 3. I want to look forward to it, but I can't until I see gameplay. I want it to come out. I loved Battlefront 2. But you know what, like, it's just, it can't. Like, so maybe in the next E3, maybe they'll show something, but what's your thoughts of E3, anyways, in general?
Well, E3, and since E3 just recently passed, I didn't watch the last E3. The reason why is because I hate E3. I hate it.
Yeah, you told me
I never want to go to it. I absolutely loathe E3. I'm kind of like, as a gamer, I'm kind of insulted by E3 in a way. The overproduction, okay? Like, E3 was really good back in the day. I mean, I'm probably going to sound like I don't care, okay? It got more popular.
I liked E3 before it was cool.
Well, I mean, it was cool to begin with, but then it got, like, way too popular. They got more money, and the overproduction just started going crazy, you know? Like, you watch E3, okay? Say you watch E3 for, like, 5 hours, right? 4 hours of that is going to be, like, filler. It's going to be, like, rap artists on stage, and then hosts coming out and saying memes in real life. That guy who came out was like, oh, the feels.
All the feels.
I was like, no, you don't do that. You don't say memes in person. It's a cringe fest, yeah, right?
Yeah, my favorite part of E3, because the only thing about E3 I watched was the Nintendo conference, and when they announced the amiibo, one of the guys just sat there so awkwardly. He's like, now let's go take a look at the amiibo, and he just kind of sat there smiling at the camera.
It was like really close on his face.
He was like, I'm ready for my close-up.
And he like didn't move at all. And the other girl was just like...
She was like awkwardly like, why am I still on camera?
Yeah, what's going on?
Anyway, what else did you not like about E3?
On the subject of overproduction, right?
Yeah.
During the last E3, I watched some clips, okay? I didn't watch the entire thing, but I watched some clips. And I was watching a clip of when people were watching the Batman trailer. Yeah. And they're all sitting in the audience. And all the lights that are like on the ceiling and everything just start like going crazy and blaring on the audience. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it was like glitching out.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Because the screen was like, actually like pixelating and stuff.
With overproduction comes more possible issues that could rise, like that, for example. Yeah. But the fact that they had those lights there to begin with means that they were using them, right? They're using all these like flashing crazy lights. So can you go to E3 and watch a trailer without having a seizure? I don't think so.
I don't know. Video games need to be seizure inducing. That's why I play video games.
It's horrible. It's like, is that really necessary? It's like, I just want to like, you know, hear about the upcoming games and whatever other news. Like, why do I have to have...
It's an E-Peen fest. Like, that's what E3 is. It's an E-Peen teaser fest.
It's horrendous.
Gotta tease the E-Peens.
And another thing that they do at E3 is they hire, like, there's this one, I think it was E3 2012, I want to say. I'm not entirely sure. I kind of watched that one. And they had a YouTuber they hired. I'm not going to say the YouTuber's name.
No idea what you're talking about anyways.
Their channel had nothing to do with video games.
Really?
Nothing. Nothing to do with video games, nothing to do with computers, hardware, absolutely nothing. If anything, it was just like vlogs and stuff. They were just popular. Okay, that's why they hired them, because they were popular. They knew nothing about video games. And I watched a clip of this person trying to play World of Warcraft. They were using the arrow keys. And they had this person host and like answering questions on Twitter and stuff.
The name of the show is WASD for a reason, folks.
It's not called arrow keys.
I mean, that'd be a weird name for a show.
Arrow keys.
Welcome to the arrow keys.
Yeah, exactly. The next thing that I really hate about E3 is it's filled with false promises.
Yeah.
Like you said, there are games that are announced at E3 and then get canceled, right?
It's just teasers. Like those games, there's so many games at E3 that are announced that are nowhere near ready to be announced, or like they're just kind of like,
it's like, look at this game.
People want this game. Let's show them like a tiny little segment.
You get to play it in 7 years.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It's 2006. I'm still waiting on Final Fantasy 15, guys.
And the most recent false promises, which is relevant to the most recent E3 and the one before it, is graphics.
Yeah, and Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs, huge example. And another example is the previous E3 before the most recent one, was that they were showing games that were supposedly on an Xbox One, I believe. Yeah. But the guy opened up the cabinet to do work.
Down there.
It was a computer with a Titan in it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this is an Xbox. It looks so good. No, an Xbox could never do that, ever. Yeah. And they had PCs under there.
But back to the Watch Dogs things. I want to talk about this a little bit. Those of you guys who have been watching my stream know that I've been playing a lot of Watch Dogs lately. And recently there was a mod that was released because somebody went through the files and they found some files that were named E3. So last year, Ubisoft made extra graphics for Watch Dogs specifically for E3, just to make it look better and show it off and give people false hopes.
Why else would they name those files E3, right?
And you know what? I did a little test. I downloaded that mod that somebody made. I did a little test on my channel, and I played before and I played after to kind of like show the differences and stuff. And the difference is basically the depth of field, the lighting effects. There's headlights on the cars without the mod. The headlights don't cast any shadows. It just lights things up. But when you put the mod on, everything casts a shadow. It looks so realistic.
So it's like an E and B.
Yeah, it's pretty much an E and B, and it looks awesome. So if you watch the footage that I was playing, you can see the differences of the two. And the only thing I noticed when I was playing it was that when I was in my car, there was headlights shining on it behind me, and there was like a little bit of like flicker, like the headlights were kind of messing with the graphics of the car. Yeah, that was the only thing bad about installing that mod for me. Like it didn't even change the gameplay at all. I actually even boosted my graphics from high to ultra, and it played no different.
So like, the frame rate felt the same.
Yeah, it didn't feel like anything happened.
And you were streaming it on top of that.
I was streaming as well.
Yeah,
in ultra settings with the mod. And it felt fine.
And your computer is like in between like mid and high range.
Yeah, like
it's not even like an Uber computer.
You can see the specs on my channel, and I don't have the best computer in the world. I have a good computer, but I don't have the best computer in the world, and I was playing it on ultra. Yeah. So like I don't know what they were thinking. They actually just released like a press thing or whatever you want to call it, where they were trying to like save face, saying that they disabled it. You sent me that. Yeah. And they were trying to save face, saying like, "Oh, we disabled it because of stability reasons."
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, we just wanted it to be a good gameplay experience, and we wanted it to be stable, so the players can really enjoy the game." It's like, judging by what you said it ran fine, and you were streaming it, and your computer is just like, it's not even like a supercomputer. No, it just sounds like
BS. They were just like talking out their ass.
Yeah, it just sounds like a total lie.
Because.
And the files are named E3. Yeah. Like, that already shows that they weren't planning to have that at release.
It's just really disappointing. Like, I'm going to keep the mod on. I'm not going to take it off. Like, if there's a better mod
that
comes out...
I'm going to put it on my game. I'll probably play it more.
It looks really good. Like, the depth of field really adds, like, a whole extra dimension.
I love depth of field.
Like, depth of field is cool to me, but every once in a while, depth of field will, like... kind of mess up where it's like
It's
I
not
like
perfect.
it's not perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like when I look and then it's like everything's blurry and it takes a minute to like focus on what you want to focus on. That kind of bothers me a little bit, but it looks so much better once you're focused on that with the depth of field and everything. Like the background's actually out of focus like it's supposed to be. And it just makes it look so much more realistic.
Yeah, it does. I love depth of field. That's why I modded the crap out of my Skyrim. I went on about what I hate about E3. What did you hate about E3?
What did I hate about E3?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, the only thing I really watched was the Nintendo thing. What the heck is an amiibo? Like
It's like those little toy things?
Yeah, the little toy things. It's basically like the Skylanders thing, but Nintendo's doing a little bit differently. And the only thing I can say that's like really better than the Skylanders or like seem pretty cool is that Skylanders you have to have like a separate thing altogether where you put it on like a little
platform.
Yeah, like a little platform.
Yeah.
The amiibos,
I only know this because I worked at GameStop.
Yeah. The amiibo you actually just goes right in the controller, so you don't need anything extra. You just get it and you can use it with your system. That's like the only thing I saw that was like better.
Does it go like on the controller with the screen? Or...
Yeah, the gamepad that comes with the Wii U. You
Yeah.
just there's like a little thing on there. You just put it on. All right, I get that they're trying to like sell this whole thing. Where it's like you have your character and you can use it with all these different multiple games. But say you have like Link or Donkey Kong or like I don't know some other random character that isn't supposed to go in a game like Mario Party or Mario Kart. This character's supposed to be used on multiple platforms. What if like a kid gets this toy and he's like, "Mom, why doesn't Link work on Mario Kart? Like how do you like is Link gonna work in Mario Kart or Mario Party? Because that would be pretty cool. Like if it did." In Super Smash Brothers, you can level up your amiibo, change it, and give it different like play styles or something. I don't know. Will that be overpowered? Like, is that going to make yourself like super overpowered when you use that?
That kind of gets rid of the skill basedness of Smash Brothers.
Like, I don't know 100% how it's going to work with Smash Brothers, but it seems like that'd be super overpowered to like level up your amiibo like that.
That kind of sounds pay to win to me. You know, like you buy this toy thing and level it up, and then you're better than people who don't buy the toy thing. That's kind of pay to win.
Trying to find a way to make extra money somehow. Like, I don't like this idea.
You don't even have a Wii U.
I don't, but I'm going to get one because of the games that were announced. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I mean, it's just amiibo sound like a stupid idea.
Well, it's probably kids like toys, you know, so it's probably kind of marketed towards kids. Like, oh, I want this toy, but also it's doing video games, so it's cool. Yeah. And the whole like kids beg their parents to buy them everything.
Oh. Hello, everyone. I'm Bill Trennan from Nintendo's Treehouse. Looks like you caught me playing with my toys.
Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good.
I hated that. So like, is there anything good that came out from E3 this year that you saw at all? Like, I know you didn't watch too much, but was there anything you liked?
What I heard of, I didn't really, because I didn't watch E3, I didn't really see it happen, but I caught wind of it.
Okay.
And that is Far Cry 4. So I'm actually pretty excited for Far Cry 4.
Really?
I loved Far Cry 2 and I loved Far Cry 3.
I actually just bought Far Cry 3 on a Steam sale. $7. Not bad.
Totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should stream it.
I might.
You'll stream it right here.
Is this it?
I'm grabbing the link.
What are you doing? Why are you squeezing my link?
Okay, anyway. And what I really like about the Far Cry games is that the open world, you know, you're not just always on a mission, always have to do something. You can take a break in between missions and just do whatever. I play Skyrim like that. I've never beaten Skyrim, but I have like 400 hours in the game, so I love just doing whatever I can.
I've beaten Skyrim and I had like 60 hours in the game.
I'm a huge sandboxer. I love sandbox. And the storylines in Far Cry are actually like interesting. I actually like pay attention and watch like the cutscenes and stuff, you know? And the voice acting in Far Cry 3 was amazing. So I really hope Far Cry 4 has really good voice acting.
I'm sure
as well.
it will be. I don't think they'll take a step down from Far Cry 3 to Far Cry 4.
Yeah,
and be
well,
like,
it depends on who
voice
they
acting
hire.
was too good last time. We need worse.
It depends on who they hire. That one guy specifically, I don't remember his character's name, but it's when you just get kidnapped and he's like talking crap to you through the bars.
I'm sorry, what did you say? What did you say? Do you want me to slice you open like I did your friend? Shut the fuck up! Okay? It's okay. I'm gonna chill, I'm gonna relax because you, Wah, and your tough guy brother, we're gonna have a lot of fun together while we wait for the money.
Hire him again.
No idea who you're talking about because I haven't played the game yet, but maybe they'll hire him again.
What I also really like about the Far Cry games is that they have something very rare in the gaming world, is that with each Far Cry, they've gotten better.
Yeah.
Like the first Far Cry, I didn't play the first one, but I heard it was pretty linear.
I don't play any of them.
And, well, you should.
I'm going to. We
Yeah,
just
you
discussed
better.
this.
Hey.
I'm going to play 3.
Do it.
I'm going to.
Do
Stop
it.
telling me what to do. You're not my mom.
I'll throw you off the deck. They get better with each one, which is pretty rare in the gaming world, I think. Is usually, like, the first game, people are like, oh, this is amazing, and someone comes out, and then people are like, eh, you know? But with each one, they've actually gotten progressively better, you know? They've become open world, and then Far Cry 3, there was, like, more things to do. They started implementing co-op, which wasn't there before. And Far Cry 4 has actually improved upon the co-op, where in Far Cry 3, the co-op was a totally separate thing. Like, it wasn't a part of the campaign at all.
I'm a big fan of co-op. I love being able to play with my friends. I mean, I love single-player games, but being able to play with somebody in the same kind of scenario is really fun. So I'm glad they're doing that better.
Yeah, so in Far Cry 4, like, the progression you make during co-op actually carries over into your single-player game. The co-op in Far Cry 4, if it's going to be what they say it's going to be, I would really like to play that. But one thing worries me, and it's always been this way, but it worries me now because of Watch Dogs. Far Cry is published by Ubisoft. And I really hope that at E3 they didn't pull a Watch Dogs in a sense where they made it look a lot better, and then it's released and it doesn't.
They better not do that again.
Don't pull a Watch Dogs.
They can't do that to us a second time. The PC Master Race is watching. We'll check your files.
We'll go through your files. We'll look for the ones that are titled E3.
You can't dumb your game down for us a second time.
We have strong computers. We can handle it.
We'll find you. We will find you.
And we will kill you. One thing that also got progressively better in each of the Far Cry games was the environment. The environment just got more and more detailed and much more open. But I was never really a huge fan of like tropical environments.
I'm an island life kind of person.
You're a Floridian. So.
Hey, come on now. I'm not a Floridian.
You're from there. You're Floridian, okay? I'm a mascot.
I do love the island life. I've always been a fan of like sitting back on a beach. I don't really like the beach, but I love like the beach life. Yeah. Anyways, keep going.
Western Mass. I love mountains and I love pine trees. Right? Far Cry 4. Mountains and evergreens. The mountains are huge. They're absolutely massive, and the environment looks amazing. And you know what else they added? Elephants. Elephants. Never before seen in a Far Cry game. And something else they implied, you could ride them.
Ride the elephants? Like
they said they're a vehicle and a weapon.
So like in Lord of the Rings, you're going to be like on the back of an elephant and you're just going to like freaking knock people out of the way and stomp on them?
Yeah, I watched a video where an elephant comes up and it just like rams a truck, knocks it over, and just explodes.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, elephants, man. And if any of you are interested in Far Cry 4 now after I explained it and you don't know when it's going to be released,
I'm interested.
The release date is November 18th of this year.
That's soon.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I'm getting it. And I'm going to stream it. I'm going to stream the crap out of it.
I might stream it too.
I'm going to stream it harder. So that's what I loved about this UZ3. What did you love?
What did I love?
Yeah.
I think people might be able to guess this, but open world Zelda. Zelda Wii U. Oh my goodness, when I saw that clip of Epona and Link sitting there in the open field and him talking about how this world was going to be open and basically like Skyrim and Wind Waker had a baby, and I just had wet dreams over this.
Where does the Wind Waker aspect come from?
Wind Waker aspect is cel-shaded.
Oh,
it looks a lot like Wind Waker. And he's actually wearing the same outfit almost that he was wearing in the beginning of Wind Waker. It looks like the blue like shirt.
I wonder if it's like a spiritual successor to it.
Maybe.
Because of the clothing and the cell shading.
I'm just super excited the fact that this is going to be an open world Zelda, because every single Zelda, they've always had like Hyrule Field, where it's like this big open field, and it's just kind of just like a waypoint to get from each side. You know, I'm really curious to see how they're gonna do it.
If I had a Wii U, I would get it.
The one thing that I found really funny about this is that when that game was announced, I knew immediately that was Link. But there was a comment that Mr. Amuna said, no one said that was Link. And this somehow caused like this big thing where somebody's like,
like a controversy.
Female character in Zelda? Like what? This could be like Link and Zelda's like daughter or something?
So just because he said that, then they assumed like the opposite gender?
Yeah, like they assumed that this wasn't Link. Like I knew immediately it was Link. Like Link has always been kind of like feminine and I've just gotten used to it.
Well, like
you know?
that's kind of like the art style,
Yeah.
you know. Like,
But like, I don't know how people could think that that wasn't Link. Like,
he's been in every Zelda.
He says he was joking and that it was just he made the comment jokingly, and the reason he said that comment was because he wanted people to focus on other aspects of the game. They didn't want them to focus on how Link looked, because how Link looks doesn't matter because you're playing as him.
He looks different in every game. It's to be expected.
So like when he said that, he was saying it as a joke because he wanted people to focus on the fact that it was open world, and they wanted to focus on the other stuff in the game.
Yeah.
But like somehow this led to this big thing where people were like, "Ooh, female lead character in Zelda." Like, how did that happen? Like what?
I would be pretty weirded out if the lead character in Zelda is something.
If Zelda was now the main character and Link was just like a side character.
Well, I mean, Zelda, at least she's already, like, written into the game, you know? But if it just, like, suddenly became a female Link, then that would be kind of weird, you know? Because it's always been Link.
I guess you can use the argument that it's not technically the same Link every time. Yeah. It's like a different iteration of Link all the time, but it's still
But that's
Link.
what it's been.
Yeah, it's still Link. It's always Link.
There seems to have been this weird obsession lately with wanting more female protagonists, but not just more female protagonists in general, but female lead characters in games that have already been established.
Yeah. Like
Zelda, and another one being Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed is a brotherhood. Why would there suddenly be a female, like, assassin? It's a brotherhood.
What if they had like a Mulan type character where it was like a female pretending to be a guy, like cut off her hair, and then like later, like you're about to beat the game and you find out you've been a female the whole time, and be like, how was I in the Brotherhood?
If you look at Assassin's Creed's theme, it's like at least the last 3 Assassin's Creeds that they've been taking place in like different areas of the world, you know, and that's kind of what they've been going with. But I mean, it's still a brotherhood, so the main character to be male is to be expected. Yeah. And if it suddenly became female, I'd kind of just be like, what? I think they're kind of missing a very important aspect in gaming when they're making this big deal about wanting to suddenly turn male characters into female characters, is that it's a video game. Stop being so concerned with what may or may not be between your character's legs, because there's just a texture there. Get rid of that texture, guess what? There's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, and ultimately you're just playing the game, you're still you're just watching a story, so...
Yeah. Just experience the story, experience the gameplay, and why are you thinking so much about what's between your characters' legs? It's kind of weird.
I mean, like, what do they want? They want, like, a male Lara Croft? Like, Tomb Raider, now a guy.
Yeah.
How many people would play that, honestly?
No.
Like...
Everyone would be really upset.
Yeah.
Like,
Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones, the video game.
I look at Uncharted as, like, a male Tomb Raider, but Tomb Raider itself, if Samus was a guy...
What if Metroid was now the main character?
Well, I would be kind of weirded out by that, but if Samus was, like, originally a guy from the beginning, the story wouldn't have changed at all, you know, like, it would still be Metroid. It shouldn't matter. You shouldn't be so bent out of shape about it, you know, like I said, it's just weird to be so concerned about what parts your character has. It's a video game. Just play a video game and have fun. Like, get over it, you know?
Get over it.
If there's going to be more female lead characters, at least have it play well with the story, you know? Don't try to, like, completely do a gender swap on a pre-established storyline. It's just, no, you just don't do that. My personal preference in terms of what gender I play or the gender of the main character in games is to have the choice. I like in the Elder Scrolls games, you can choose whether to be a female or a male, or you can even choose your race, you know?
Yeah.
But see, that works with the story. The story alters based on the character you created. You know, I love having the choice, because I actually, if given the choice, I will play a female, because I do feel a little bit more immersed, but I make her from scratch, you know? You do all the customization. If it's like a pre-made female, like Lara Croft, it feels the same to me as like a male character, because it's just another pre-made character. It's not a character that I created.
It's just like you're playing a story.
It's just play video games, guys. Don't make a big huge deal about.
Just play video games. That's all I want you to
do. The characters aren't even real. They're not even real. Okay, just play a game. They're not even real. They don't exist. So all your video game crushes, they're not real. Okay, they're pixels, polygons, textures, and colors and shapes.
You ruined my hopes. I was gonna marry Zelda one day.
That explains your body pillow.
Alright, that's all we have this week, guys. Highlander's coming up soon, thanks to Asus, Intel, and Corsair, so stay tuned for that. I'll be there. It's going to be awesome. Last week we asked you guys about canceled games, and this week we want to ask you, what do you think publishers or companies' effect is on gaming?
We'll tell you our answer in the next episode. Oh wait, now I gotta talk about the release. Okay.
Fuck! Asus, Intel, Corsair.
Church and cigarettes. I'm not gonna lift my arms. It stains.
Don't even go there.
The intro already happened, and
What?
I magically have different pants on.
What are you doing?
Help it.
Help me. Alright guys, this week on
No,
WASD...
you gotta start over. I was making a face.
Fuck that. I'm gonna take my socks off because it's fucking hot here.
Woo!
Hell, I pressed the wrong button.
Standing in front of quad damage.
The wrong button.
He's a psycho. Don't listen to him.